Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita session, and today we'll be starting with chapter 4. So recap, the objective of this class is to enable all of us to be able to read the shlok and to understand the meaning of the shlok and to help understand the basic philosophy of Gita. Now, this chapter 4 is divided into few parts. We'll be covering the first two parts, that is the lineage of transcendental knowledge, which is parampara, and the divine nature of Lord Krishna's appearance. This is what we'll try to cover today. So let me take you back to what we have already done. So what we have done in the last chapter 3, it started with Arjun's confusion, whether we should work or he should renounce. That was his question. And then Krishna concludes that Nishkam Karma Yoga is better for Arjun than Jnana Yoga. And the goal of Nishkam Karma is Jnana. So what is Nishkam Karma? Is Krishna says, do your prescribed duty without any attachment. Yeah. And Jnana is realizing the difference between body and soul, right? Now, even if one is self-realized, and when we use the word self-realized, it means the person understands that he is not this body, but the soul. Still, we should never leave the prescribed duty. Krishna says, even if we are self-realized, we should always continue with our prescribed duty. And he gives example of Maharaja Janak, who, whatever it is, being a king, he was really self-realized, but still he continued to do the duty. And then he gave the Krishna's himself example. And then in the last class, what we read was, for our spiritual advancement, what is the arch enemy? The arch enemy is lust. The arch enemy of for our spiritual advancement is lust. And because of lust, it causes material bondage. What it causes? It causes material bondage. Material bondage is we are bound in this material world, and we are in a cycle of birth and death. And how can we come out? Basically, what he says is, Krishna says, to control lust, what we have to do? We have to start from the senses. The first thing that we have to start doing is we should control our senses. Yeah, that is easiest, he said, among everything else. And then he concludes that, Krishna concludes stating that by spiritual strength, how we can control the lust? Only by spiritual strength. If we increases our spiritual strength, then the lust can be controlled. This is how we concluded the last chapter. And this chapter 4, is called transcendental knowledge. It's called transcendental knowledge. Now, what is transcendental knowledge? Transcendental knowledge is the knowledge beyond Nishkam Karma. It is basically the knowledge that we are not this body, we are soul, and the relation of the soul with the supreme. Transcendent, something which transcends, it means elevates. And what does transcendental knowledge means? The relation of the soul with the supreme. That is what will be covered in this chapter. Now, the first topic of this chapter is the lineage of transcendental knowledge, that is parampara, which is covered from Shlok 4.1 to 4.4. Yeah. So we'll take the first Shlok. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Amavyayam Vivasvana Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Bravit Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ham Avyayam Vivasvana Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Bravit. Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Avyayam Vivasvana Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Bravit. So the Bhagwan starts by saying, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. Avyayam is something which cannot be spent. Avyayam is which is imperishable, which is imperishable. And he said, Krishna says, this aham is I. Aham proktavan means I told. I have told. Avyam, this knowledge. What I have told? This knowledge. This knowledge to whom? Imam, to Vivaswan. Who is Vivaswan? Vivaswan is the sun god. Who is Vivaswan? Sun god. He said that I have first told this knowledge to, I have given this knowledge to the sun god. Vivaswan manave praha. Praha is said. And then what did Vivaswan do? He told to Manu. He told to Manu. Who is Manu? Manu is the father of mankind. So he told to Manu. Manu Rikshvaka Vaibravit. Manu told this to Rikshvaku. And who is Rikshvaku? Maharaj Rikshvaku. He was the Maharaj of the planet Earth. He is the Suryavanshi. He is the one who started the Suryavanshi. Yeah. So Abravit, he said. So now he is talking about the knowledge of Gita. He's talking about it. First, this knowledge he gave it to whom? To the sun god, Vivaswan. Yeah. And from the sun god, Manu. And from Manu, it went to Ikshvaku. So let's read the meaning. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So here it shows the parampara, how the knowledge actually flew. It actually passed. It started from Krishna himself. He did it, right? This is the parampara. This is a disciplic succession where the knowledge is passing, and this is how the knowledge should pass. It should pass through a parampara to be authentic, right? Now let's look at when was this spoken. Yeah. So now we know that Chaturyug consists of 4 yugas, right? We are now in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, right? The duration of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Now before Kali Yuga was Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar Yuga is twice of Kali Yuga, means it is 8,64,000, right? Before Dwapar was Treta. Treta is again thrice of Kali Yuga, which is basically twice of this. So it is basically 12,96,000. Okay, it is 3 times of the Kali Yuga, and the Satyuga is 4 times the Kali Yuga, which is 17,28,000. And total Chaturyuga is 43 lakhs some thousand years, right? That is the duration of a Chaturyuga. That is the duration of a Chaturyuga, right? Now 1,000 such Chaturyuga forms 1 day of Brahma. 1,000 such Chaturyugas form 1 day of Brahma. And 1,000 such Chaturyuga forms 1 night of Brahma. Okay. Forms 1 night of Brahma, right? So now if we calculate, so we talked about Manu. Now in Mahabharata it states that Manu gave this knowledge to Ikshvaku during Mahabharata. It states telling that, yeah, it was given in Treta Yuga. Now Treta Yuga means say 4,32,000, 8 lakh there, and then 12 in the Treta Yuga. So total, even if say 12 and 8 we add, it is around 20 lakhs years before. So Manu gave this knowledge to Ikshvaku around 20 lakhs years ago. Yeah. And if you look at Manu's lifespan, now it is 71 times of the Chaturyuga that we are talking about, right? So it means that this knowledge that was given was from Krishna to Vivaswan was sometimes something around 2 million years ago. Acharya says by calculation that this knowledge from Krishna was given to Vivaswan some 2 million years ago. Okay, fine. So now let's go to the next shloka. 4.2. Evam parampara praptim imam rajarshayo viduhu sakalineha mahata yoge nashtah parantapa Evam parampara praptam. Imam rajarshayo viduhu. Sakaline mahata. Yoge nashta parantapah.
Evam parampara praptam.
Evam parampara praptam.
Rajarshayo viduhu.
Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Sakale mahata.
Sakaline mahata.
Yogo nashta parantapah.
Yogo nashta parantapah. So now Krishna says, by this parampara, the knowledge was passed and it was received by Rajarshi. It was received by Rajarshi. Who are Rajrishi? Rajrishi, who are Rajrishis? Rajrishis are the kings who are rishis. The king who are rishis are Rajrishis. Okay, who are like Rishi. They are Rajrishis. So this way, the knowledge was transferred to the Rajrishis. Why to the Rajrishis? Because they were spiritually very advanced. This knowledge is actually, you need the spiritual advancement to understand it. It cannot be just understood by ordinary person. Yeah. So it was passed to the Rajrishis who were already spiritually advanced. So they can understand this knowledge, so that they can understand this knowledge. And then, being a king, they can actually form systems. They can actually form systems which can actually help the citizens to understand the philosophy, to understand this knowledge. The king has the power to formulate systems which everyone has to follow. Yeah. So that is why it was understood. Vidu means understood. It was understood by Rajrishi, and so that they can actually make systems such that everyone as a process can understand. Okay. Then what happened? So evam parampara praptam imam rajarshriyo vidu. Rajarshis, they understood by this parampara. Sa kalineha mahata. Sa means this knowledge. What happened? During in time. Kalene means during the course of time. What happened? This succession that was done, it actually yoge nashta parantapa is got lost. This knowledge got while being transmitted from one rishi to other, one generation to another. What happened? This knowledge, this knowledge got nashta. It got lost. Parantapa. Who is Parantapa? Parantapa is Arjun. Parantapa is Arjun. What is the meaning of Parantapa? Par is other and tapa is pain. He can actually control the pain of the enemies. He can basically a controller of the enemies, right? So now let's read the meaning. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So what knowledge Krishna gave to Vivekwan, that was lost during the succession, during the passing from one generation to another. So now in Shlok 4.3, Sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam het uttamam sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam het uttamam sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha
भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति
Bhaktosi me sakha cheti.
रहस्यं ह्येतत् उत्तमम्
Rahasyam hetad uttamam. So now Krishna says, so Puratana is that ancient knowledge. Sa Puratana means that ancient knowledge. Eva Maya Tedya. Maya I to you. Tedya is today. I Edya means today. So that ancient knowledge I am going to speak to you today. Prokta is said. Going to tell to you today. But why is he going to tell to Arjun today? Because Bhakto si me sakha cheti. Because Arjun is his bhakt. He is a devotee of Krishna. He is a devotee of Krishna and Sakha. He is a friend of Krishna. Cheti Rahasyam etat uttamam. Rahasyam is a mystery. Rahasya means mystery. Uttamam. This highest mystery I am going to tell you today because you are my devotee and you are my friend. Yeah, let's read the meaning. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of the science. Right? So now this is very, very important thing. So if you recall back what happened in the first chapter, Krishna only spoke once when Krishna took Arjun in front of the army and said, look, go and behold, see the. He kept quiet. He didn't say any, he didn't give any gyan to Arjun. Arjun kept on speaking. And in second chapter, when Arjun was totally confused, and what he did? He raised his hand and he said, I'm totally confused and I am now totally surrendered unto you. I am totally surrendered unto you. So when Arjun totally surrendered himself to Krishna, at that time he started speaking. And not only he surrendered, he said, I accept you as my guru. I accept you as my guru. Yeah. So he started speaking only when so you have to be surrendered. You have to be humble. You are not in a challenging mode, but you are in receiving mode. You should always be inquisitive. There should always be question and answers. That is how our Purans are. That's how our scriptures are, right? So you have to be inquisitive, but not challenging to learn. If you really want to learn, and you have to be surrendered, right? And so he surrendered and he said, I'm your devotee, right? And now, because he has surrendered, he is in a humble, he is inquisitive, asking. So Krishna is now explaining him the transcendental mystery that he had spoken long ago. He has chosen Arjun to speak that, right? Now, so it's very, very important. If you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, you have to be first submissive, surrender, and understand it, accepting that yes, this is the word of God, Bhagavad Gita. It is the Bhagwan who is speaking. It is his words. So what he is speaking, that is the final. So that is the faith. That is what you have to understand Bhagavad Gita, right? Right. Now, what happens if currently, if you look at in the, lot of people who are scholars in Sanskrit, who have done scholars in, they have done scholars in philosophy, they have started writing knowing Sanskrit and knowing being scholar, they have started translating Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. But those Bhagavad Gita cannot have the right essence because they are not coming from parampara. That knowledge is not getting transmitted from one acharya to another acharya, and so it's not transmitted. So what you are learning is someone's own mental concoction. The scholar, what he thinks about those words is being written. So that is not the right thing to read, because those information what you are reading is as per his understanding, and we human beings are when Krishna can say to Arjun that you cannot see me, you cannot understand me with this eyes, because it is all imperfect. Our vision, our knowledge is imperfect. So if we write with that, without being a devotee and following parampara, what I have written cannot be perfect. It cannot be perfect. Yeah. So it's very important for someone, if you really want to understand Bhagavad Gita, you should look at the parampara and you should learn and be a devotee to understand Bhagavad Gita. So now there are four, from a Vaishnava perspective, there are four bona fide sampradaya, Vaishnava sampradaya, and they are, the sampradaya comes from Brahma. One comes from a Brahma, it's called Brahma sampradaya. Then Sri sampradaya, which is coming from Lakshmi. Then is a Rudra sampradaya, which is coming from Shiva. And then we have the Kumar sampradaya. These are the four sampradayas which are actually there, the Vaishnava sampradaya, which are bona fide. Yeah, and we actually follow the Brahma Sampradaya. Which Sampradaya we follow? We follow the Brahma Sampradaya, and there it is the one that we follow is Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya, and is coming from Madhvacharya and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then from Prabhupada we are actually learning whatever we are learning is coming from Prabhupada, who is coming from that disciplinic succession. Yeah. So now the fourth shlok. अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद् विजानीयाम् त्वम् अदौ प्रोक्तवानिति अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद् विजानीयाम् त्वमदौ प्रोक्तवानिति. अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथम् एतद् विजानीयाम् त्वम् अदौ प्रोक्तवानिति. So now, listening to this, Arjun is thinking, Arjun is Kunti's son, and Krishna is Vasudev's son, and Kunti and Vasudeva are cousin brothers, sisters, right? So he is wondering that Krishna is saying that he gave this knowledge some billions of years ago to Vivaswan, and he is my cousin, and how is it that he has given that knowledge? So he is inquisitive, and he wants to know Param Janma Vivasvata. Param means higher, senior. So Vivaswan's birth is senior to you, right? Aparam Bhavato Janma. It happened much before your Janma. Katham etad vijaniya. Vijaniya means how I'm supposed to know what? That from Adho Viprokta Bhanti, that you have explained this knowledge to Vivaswan. So let's read the meaning. Arjun said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the science to him? Valid question?
Yes.
So now, if you remember during the Gita chanting service, what we had in the 10th chapter, Krishna had said, among the Pandavas, I am Arjun. Among the Pandavas, I am Arjun. So who is Arjun? Arjun is one of the thing of Krishna. So do you think Arjun doesn't know that this knowledge is coming from like this, or he is doubting it? So the thing is, our scriptures are question and answers based. And this question, or such questions, Arjun is putting to Krishna so that we all who are ignorant can hear directly from Krishna what he has to say about himself. Yeah, because Krishna's, what he speaks is authority, is a final word. Yeah, so he is asking these questions to Krishna to hear from Krishna himself for all of us. Many times, even in Bhagavatam, you'll see the questions which is asked, you will think, oh, how come this is a Bhakt and he doesn't know this question? Yeah, but always remember, it is not that they don't know the question, but they are asking this question for all of us to understand the reason behind that. Okay, right? So let's now go to the next. So this is the first part of the 4th chapter, where Krishna is talking about parampara, and then question, and Arjun asks the question. So the next is the divine nature of Lord Krishna's appearance. So now Krishna starts replying from 4.5. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Bahuni me vyatitani
Bahuni me Vyatitani
Janmani tav charjuna
Janmani Tava Arjuna
Tanye ham ved sarvani
Tanyam Veda Sarvani
Na tvam vetha parantapa
Tvam Veda Parantapa
Bahuni me vyatitani
Bahuni me Vyatitani
Janmani tav charjuna
Janmani Tava Arjuna
Tanya ham ved sarvani
Tanyam Veda Sarvani
Na tvam vetha parantapa.
Tvam Veda Parantapa
Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tav charjuna Tyan aham ved sarvani Na tvam vetha parantapa. So now Bhagwan is explaining to Arjun, Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tav charjuna. O Arjun, Bahuni, Bahuni means many, many. Vyatitani, many, many births you and I had. Many, many births. Vyatitani, Janmani tav charjuna. You and I had many, many births. Tan, aham ved. Ved is to know. Sarvani. Sarvani means all. I remember all. Tan, aham ved sarvani. I understand and remember all. Na tvam vetha parantapa. But parantapa is who? What is that? Is Arjun. But O Arjun, you will not remember. Yeah, let's read the meaning. The personality of Godhead said, many, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. Yeah. So why is it that Arjun does not remember anything, but Krishna knows all, remembers everything? So now Arjun is a conditioned soul. Arjun is a conditioned soul. It means what is it? When you say conditioned soul means the body is different and the soul is different. The body is different and the soul is different, and is also subjected to the different modes of material nature, right? That's what is a conditioned soul, right? Now, what we read in second chapter when we were reading about soul, what is the size of a soul?
Tip of the 100 of the
Right. So if you take a tip of the hair, and we divide it into 100 parts, then we take one part of that, and again we divide into 100 parts. That is the size of the soul. So Arjun's body is a spiritual body, and that is the size of the soul, right? But Krishna, there's no difference between his soul and body. He's fully spiritual. He is Sat Chit Anand. What is Sat? Sat means eternal. Sat means eternal. And Chit means all knowledgeable. Chit means all knowledgeable. And Anand means blissful. So Krishna is all knowledgeable, eternal, and blissful. And his body and his soul, it's all same. It's all same. So he's eternal. He remembers everything because everything is under his control. Yeah. But Arjun, we know Arjun is the greatest warrior. Arjun is a great warrior. Yeah. But still, he's Parantapa. But still, he does not remember. Why? Because he's a material body. Fine. So that is why he remembers that none of us remember. Yeah. And now we go to the next shlok. 4.6. Ajo api san avyatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Ajopi san avyatma Bhutanam Ishwaropi san.
Bhutanam Ishwaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhishtaya.
Prakritim swamadhishtaya.
Sambhavam atma mayaya.
Ajopi sannavayatma.
Ajopi sannavayatma.
Bhutanam Ishwaropi san.
Bhutanam Ishwaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhishtaya.
Prakritim swamadhishtaya.
Sambhavayatma atmamayaya.
Sambhavanatma mayaya. So now, Ajopi san avayatma. Aja means unborn. Aja means unborn. Krishna is explaining about himself. Who is he? What is his? He is unborn. Ajo. Avyatma means he is eternal. He is imperishable. Avyaya, which cannot be spent, is imperishable. It's right. Bhutanam Ishwarepi san. Bhutanam is living entities. Bhutanam is living entities. Bhutanam Ishwaro. And who is he? He is the Ishwar of all the living entities. Prakriti Swam Adhishtaya. Prakriti means also nature and Swarup. Swarup means I come in my Swam means myself. I come myself in my original transcendental form. Sambhavam. Sambhavam is appear. Atmaya, by my internal energy. By my own Atmaya, I come. That's what. So now let's read the meaning of it. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Now, Krishna is saying, I am Aja, I am unborn. Yeah, I am unborn. But we all know that Krishna was born to Devaki and Vasudeva some 5,000 years ago, right? Yeah, we have read that story. Yeah. So how you have to understand? Krishna is saying he's unborn, so he's unborn. First, that is there, right? Now, you have to understand it with respect to sun. You have to understand this concept with respect to sun. So we say that the sun has risen, sun is rising. And then we say sun has set. Does the sun, when the sun sets, does it just finishes? What happens?
It goes rises somewhere else.
It rises somewhere else, right? So if sun is rising in India,
America, it is dark.
It is dark. And when it's setting in India, somewhere else it's rising. So the sun is always there. So what happens? Sun is always there. It appears, it is not rising, it appears and then it disappears. But sun is always fixed. Right? Sun is always there. It appears every day and then it disappears. So we say it rising and it sets. Yeah, but sun is always there. Similarly, Krishna is always there. He's Ajan. He appears and disappears. The word that we use that Krishna is born or is birth is wrong. Because of our limited knowledge, we use the word birth. Because we don't know, we use these terms. But the thing is, Krishna is unborn. Just like the sun appears and disappears, Krishna is always there. And he keeps on appearing in different yug. He's always there. He's fixed. He's always there. The only thing is, later we'll see. He'll explain later to us. But what happens? Krishna appears and disappears by his own will and wish. Because he is beyond everything. He decides and he does it. So he is unborn, and you can understand it from the context of sun. Even when he appears, he does not appear like all of us. Yeah. When he comes, he's actually, when he was born to, when he appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva, he was actually fully, he was wearing the full dress, and then instead of crying, he was actually teaching to Vasudeva and Devaki that, okay, hold on, I have come. You don't have to worry. Take me there. Yeah. So he is spiritual. His whole body is spiritual. He's always there. He's unborn. He's always there. He is unborn, right? Now think about the growth. What happens? All of us, we take birth, we grow, yeah, we then we actually we have byproducts, and then down the line we die. But Krishna appears, he grows, and then after some time he just remains like that. When Krishna was fighting in Kurukshetra war, he was 100+ years, but he looks always like a young beautiful boy of 16 years, right? Because he never grows, he just stays there, right? So he's unborn. Then avyatma means he's imperishable, he's always there, his body never perishes, it is spiritual, it remains as is, yeah. And he is the bhutanam ishwaropi, and for all living entities he is the Ishwar. And Sambhavam Atmamaya, and he appears by his internal energy whenever in his Swarup, whenever he wishes. It is his wish, right? The question is then, why does he come? If he is spiritual, if he is almighty and everything, then why does he come? Yeah. So when does he come? Let's first understand when does he come, and then we'll talk about why does he come, right? So let's go to the next shlok. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata
abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Now here Krishna says tadatmanam srijamyaham. Tadatmanam srijamyaham. Srijamyaham means he appears, he descends, he manifests himself. He's not born. He's always there. He appears, he descends. Srijamyaham. He takes an avatar and comes. Srijamyaham, right? When that Atmanam, and based on Atmanam, when he decides, he decides when he needs to come down, right? Yada means when and wherever. Yada means whenever and wherever. Depends upon what, when and wherever he will descend, he will come. Dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Bharata is Arjun. He's telling to Arjun, dharmasya glanir bhavati. When there is a decline in dharma. Abhyuthanam adharmasya. And abhyuthan means increase. What is increasing? Adharma. When adharma is increasing, then what will happen? When and wherever there's a decline in dharma and there's an increase in adharma, then I manifest or I appear, I descend. Yeah, at that time. So let's read the translation. Whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of a religion, at that time I descend myself. Now I wanted to talk about dharma. I mean, what is dharma? Yeah, as per you, what is dharma?
Dharma is my dharma is if I'm a housewife, I'm doing my daily duties, the chores. That is my dharma. It is not the religion, but the dharma.
Anyone else?
Right being right also. Being right, yes, she's saying.
Yeah, okay. So normally, first thing, let's understand. In general, when you talk about dharma, everyone thinks about religion, right? So first of all, we should know that there is no equivalent English word of dharma Dharma. There's no equivalent English word of dharma. The translation of dharma as religion is wrong, because religion and faith. Yeah. So what happens is a faith, someone can change the faith. Yeah. Religion can be changed, right? But dharma cannot be changed. Dharma cannot be changed. Yeah. So there is no right exact translation of in English of the word dharma. So now what is dharma, right? So it is the intricate behavior of what? So now think about sugar. What is sugar? Sugar, when you think about sugar, it is sweetness. Right? When you think about fire, it is heat and light. When you think about chili, it is hot. So that is the dharma of that particular substance. Right? It's an intricate behavior of that particular substance. Right? We all are soul. What is our dharma? As Mataji said, duty. And what she explained, that we do our dharma is, you can say, duty. And what do I do duty? She said, I do my duty of serving, doing the things. So what duty we do? We serve. What dharma we follow is we serve. If you think about what we are doing, a husband is serving to wife, or he's serving in office. A wife is serving to husband or serving at home to children, right? So what is our basic duty? What we do is we actually serve. As a soul, what do? We serve, right? So the intrinsic, so dharma is, you can talk about as a duty, that is, but what duty is just to serve. As a soul, we serve. But what do we serve? We serve to nation. We serve to to family. We serve, but whatever happens, we finally see that we are not fully happy. Whatever you serve, by default we are serving, but whatever we serve, we are not actually happy, because unless we know what do we need to serve, what is our real dharma, unless we know what we should be really serve, that will make us happy. Because we don't know, now people keep on serving dogs and cats and dogs, because serving is our basic behavior. It's a basic duty that we will do it. By default, we'll do it. Yeah, because that's what is up. But we don't know in this material world what we should serve. Yeah. And then Bhagavad Gita is basically, we know it's the words of God. And if you have to understand what does God say, what are the details of this, you have to understand Bhagavatam. You have to read Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam explains. Yeah. And then in Bhagavatam, if I talk about Bhagavatam, there's a definition of dharma. What is dharma? What is the right thing to do? So it says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaja. In Bhagavatam is said, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaja ahetukya apratihata ayatma suprasidati. Yeah. Pumsa means mankind. Pumsa means mankind. Paro dharma, the highest dharma. What is the highest dharma? Is yato bhaktir adhokshaja. Who is adhoksh? Adhoksh is Krishna. Adhoksh is like that. The highest dharma is to offer devotional service to Krishna. That is the highest dharma. So what we are supposed to serve? We are supposed to serve Krishna, and then we will feel satisfied. Otherwise, whatever our nature is, dharma is to do duty. What duty? To serve. Either we serve, if you think about anything, you think you are actually serving something or other. Either you're serving your family, or you're serving your office, or you're serving yourself, but you don't know. But still you feel at the end it is incomplete, because we don't know what to serve. We don't know what to serve. And Bhagavatam says that Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radhokshaja. The highest, when you will get satisfaction is when you are doing the bhakti, the serving to adhokshaja. And how should that bhakti should be? Serving should be ahetukya apratihata yatma suprasidati. It should be such, it should be unmotivated and uninterrupted. It should not be any, it should be totally unknown. There should not be a motive against that service. It should be selfless service. And that will actually give you happiness. And that is your dharma. That is our dharma. That is our dharma for all of us. That is how it is defined in Bhagavatam. So now the question is to serve. Now question is, why Krishna? Why Krishna? Why Adhokshaja? That is definitely there. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. That's why. But we have also talked about the Krishna says in chapter 15. What does he say? 15.7. He says, Mamai Vansho Jeeva Loke Jeev Bhuta Sanatana. Who are we? He defines that in 15th chapter, 7th shlok. He says, Mamai Vansho Jeeva Loke Jeeva Bhuta Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. And what eternal? My Ansh. Who are we? Jeev Lok. In this lok, Jeeva Bhuta, all the living entities, they are, who are they? They are my Ansh. They are Mamai Vansho. They are my Ansh. So who are we? We are actually the part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. But if we are part and parcel of Krishna, why are we here? Why are we in this material world? Why are we not there with him?
Because of our karmas.
Yes, because of our karmas. Very, very right. Because of our karmas, and
We wanted to be
our original, as we read in Bhagavatam, our original Sarup, Jeev. What is the original Sarup of Jeev? Is to serve Krishna. But we didn't like it. When we were with him, we are not liking it. We want to be master of our senses. We wanted to be master. We wanted to enjoy away from him. We don't like, we want to, just like, in a family. We also see it in our practical life here. When the kids are growing up, they want to be away from the parents because they want to enjoy. It happens in every family. When the kids are growing up, they're tired of their parents, being with parents. Oh, I want to now go away from you and enjoy. And then they realize, and in the end they come to parents and say, oh, thank you, how great you were. That's a family, that's a normal thing in everyone's life, right? So similarly, our actual position is, constitutional position is servant of Krishna, to serve Krishna. That's our original position. But what we're doing, we were actually wanted to be master and enjoy. And so what he did, he created this material. We read in the 3rd chapter, he created this material world. He sent us here. At the same time, he sent the yajna, so that he sent the yajna so that we can also grow and spiritually, and again realize our eternal position and come back to him. So what is the right thing to do? What is our duty? What is our dharma? Is to serve Krishna. Does it mean that we should not serve others? No, we should. Krishna always said, you have to do your prescribed duty. Whatever your prescribed duty is, as a soul, as an individual, you have your parents, you have your husband, you have your wife, you have your children, you have to do, you have your society, you have your nation, whatever that you have to do. But what is your param dharma? Is to serve Krishna. Okay? Yeah? Then the question is, okay, then how do we, I wanted to, okay, maybe I'll leave this. If this is there, then what is a dharma? That is dharma. Then what is adharma? Even in Bhagavatam, it talks about anything that is done which is not attached to Krishna is adharma. Yeah, because if you are not doing that, what will happen? If you look at the modes of material nature, you have the mode of ignorance and the mode of passion. So if you are not attached and you are doing, what will happen? The mode of ignorance and the mode of passion will increase. Now, what is the effect? What are the characteristics of mode of passion and mode of ignorance? It is lust, greed, anger, ego, selfishness, laziness, intoxication, all these. So what will happen, etc., etc. So when you are not connected to Krishna, you will see an increase in adharma. Yeah, and all these things is for within us. So once we are connected, we slowly, once we surrender to him, when we offer ourselves to him, and what he does, he guides us. He says, we'll read in the 10th chapter, he will say, I will guide you so that you can improve, you can move forward in your spiritual journey if you surrender. Okay, good. So this is, now let's go back to our shlok. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam jamiham. So he says, whenever and wherever there's a decline in dharma, religious thing, dharma, and where there's an increase in adharma, then what will happen? I will appear. Yeah. So we saw that in Dwapar Yuga, what happened? Kurukshetra war. Yeah. We saw what Dhritarashtra the Kauravas were doing against Pandavas and how they were, right? We saw how Kansvil was doing. Yeah. We also saw how Shishupal did. Yeah. So Shishupal is a what do you saw? He's a symbol of anger. Yeah. Similarly, if you look at Treta Yuga, Ravan is the symbol for lust. Yeah. So all these things, when it is at a height, then the God has to come to correct the things. Now we move to the next shlok. So now we said when he comes. Then why he comes is now the next shlok that we talk about. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yeah.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya
sambhavami yuge yuge. Now Krishna says Paritranaya sadhunam. Sadhu means the pious. Sadhunam, the pious. Paritranam is to deliver. Vinashaya is to annihilate, to destroy. Dushkritam is the miscreants. Yeah. Dharma sansthapanarthaya, to reestablish dharma. Sambhavami means I appear. I take avatar. Yuge, every yug after yug, I take avatar. So let's read the meaning first. To deliver the pious, and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Now, Paritranaya sadhunam. So who is a sadhu? Yeah. So Krishna defines in the 9th chapter, he says, even if you have done wrong things, but still, if you are fully now situated and is thinking about me and praying me and have devoted yourself to me, yeah, and is taking my name, then you are the sadhu, right? And who is the dushkritam? So let's read the shlok from the 9th chapter, so I'll just read that. So in the 9th chapter, there's a shlok which says, Api cheta sudacharo bhajte mam ananya bhag sadhu reva samantavya samyag vyavsto hisa. He says, who is a sadhu rev? Who is sadhu? Who is engaged in my devotional service always. He's a sadhu who is always engaged in the devotional service. And then he talks in the 9th chapter, 13th shlok, he talks about Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakriti mashrita bhajantyam ananya manso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. He says, who are the Mahatmas? Who are the sadhus? Again, bhajantya ananya manso. From the man who have undivided bhakti for me, they are the devotional service to me who perform. They are the Mahatmas, they are the sadhu. And then he explains about dushkritam. Na mam dushkritano mudha. This is the 7th chapter. Na mam dushkritano mudha prapadyante naradhama maya aprahit jnana asura bhama vishta. He says those miscreants who are grossly foolish. Mudha is foolish. Prapadyante naradhama, and who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. Maya aprahit jnana, whose jnana is illusion by Maya, and who are of asuram nature, who are demonic in behavior, they are dushkritam. That is what he defines. So now let's read the shlok again. Paritranaya sadhuna, to deliver the pious. And we saw, and vinashaya cha dushkritam, to kill, to annihilate those things. He basically, and to reestablish the dharma, Krishna appears. Now let's think about the story of Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. He was a father, but he was demoniac. Right? So what? Narsidev came to kill, annihilate, and save his devotee. And he was sadhu because Prahlad could not think anything but Krishna. He could not think anything but Krishna. So he came to save them. Right? Similarly, think about Shishupal. He was his example of, again, miscreants. Yeah. Or Kansa. Think about their miscreants. He came to annihilate them. But always remember, even though he annihilated them, but he has actually, they have actually got mukti. They have actually got mukti because they have been killed by Krishna. Right? So that is why Krishna appears to basically to deliver the pious. Now the question is, why Krishna has to come to kill the miscreants? Is it that Krishna, without Krishna coming, the miscreants can't be killed? Do you think so? Then what is his real purpose? Is it he comes to kill the miscreants? Is that the first priority?
No, to destroy the other one. That's where he comes. To destroy the other one. That's why.
Yes.
To
So the most important thing why Krishna comes, because Krishna need not come to kill the miscreants. Even his lot of demigods can just do it. Even by moving a stick, he can do that. He don't have to actually come or appear for killing the miscreants. Actually, he comes for paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver the pious, to deliver the great saints, the great rishis who had done tapasyas for ages and ages and ages and ages, and wants to be with Krishna to fulfill their need, their demand. He appears. For example, the gopis of Vrindavan. They are not ordinary gopi ladies. They are actually the great saints. It's believed that even the leaves, the trees and the leaves of Vrindavan is also a bhakt, great bhakt. Right? Yeah. Then think about, so basically he does not come to kill the miscreants. That anyway he can just do it. Yeah. But his main purpose of coming is to satisfy his great devotees who had been there to worship him. For example, we were just reading the Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Yeah. And the Kadam Muni, he had been praying to Krishna, and then he came as Kapil Muni to, right? And then for Devaki and Vasudev, he came as Krishna, right? So he basically comes to deliver his devotees. That is his main reason for coming to earth, and to reestablish dharma. Yeah. So with this, time is over. We will close today's class. Thank you. So let's read the Hare Krishna chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.